everyone, this is C.L. Cannon of Fiction Atlas Author Services bringing you another Feel Good Friday author interview. Every week I strive to bring you inspiring tales about the author journey. Today I'm here with YM Zachery. First of all, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. We're really happy to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little about yourself and about your books?
Yes, so I'm basically I'm an archaeologist and historian. I actually have 2 degrees, degrees in archaeology and history, and that's where my passion basically comes from in my books. So a lot of the stuff that you'll read in my books is based on the archaeology and ancient history, and so what you're reading is actually stuff that I have learnt. And I just love to read, and I think it was my passion for reading that led me to the writing. And my first 2 books that I wrote are based, it's time travel. I love the idea of time travel, so I would love nothing more than to be able to go back to ancient history and see the civilizations that I love studying, and that's where the dream for my books came from. So it's basically about 21st century girls travelling back to Scottish Highlands, because come on, who doesn't love a Scottish man?
Exactly.
Just all that, yeah.
It's the kilt, isn't it?
It is. It's the accent for me.
Yes, the accent.
Just for me. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that kind of goes into what I was going to ask you next, about what sparked your love of writing and how old you were when you wrote your first story.
Okay, so I have been a reader since I was 14 years old, and I have read hundreds of books and hundreds. And so it was about 5 years ago. So I was about 31 when I wrote my first book. And I have a tendency to, when I'm reading books, I go, oh, wouldn't it be fun if that happened? Or imagine if this had happened, or that would have been cool. And I just turned around to my husband one day and said, I'm going to write a book, because these characters just started appearing in my mind and wanting to be written. So, and that's how it all sort of started. I sort of got just sick of reading, and I wanted to put my own ideas to paper, I guess.
You wanted to get involved in the process, kind of, yeah.
Yes, I did.
I love that it kind of sparked from a what if kind of perspective.
Yeah. It does. It really does, because like, even though the books are in depth, I just think, I would have loved to have seen that in a book. Or imagine if this had happened. And I think that comes from my love of history and archaeology too. It's that, finding myself wanting to go back and actually see what it'd be like having a 21st century in that time.
Right.
How they react with each other. So, yeah.
Do you have, what kind of outlining process do you have? And, do you have a particular set way that you outline? Do you outline at all? Because some people don't outline.
Yes, I do outline. I am very particular. When I'm writing my stories, I have to have a plot. So I have a outline of what I want in each chapter. So it'll start with, okay, I know I want this, this, and this to happen. So I'll have that set kind of plot, and then I sort of fill in from there, and then I have what I want in each chapter, and then it just builds from that. But I think you definitely need a plot. I can't do it without a plot, or otherwise you get lost.
Yeah.
So, yes, and you will always find that without a plot, because I've started plotting more and my books are getting better as I go along, and I find without the plot I tend to forget what I've done already or where I was going. So, because I know life gets busy, so sometimes you'll walk away and you won't come back to it for a week, whereas if you have a plot, you can come back and go, oh yeah, that's what I was doing. That's where I was.
It's kind of like a road map. You know where you're going to be, you know where you've been, and you know where you're going to be or where you're heading to.
Yes. Now, I don't always stick to my plot, because I'll have chapters write themselves out of sequence. So I'll have like chapter 5 just write itself, and then I'll work backwards or forwards from that. But at least I know with my plot where it's going to fit in to the story. Sort of thing. Yes.
What time of day do you find yourself the most likely to write, and do you have a special place that you do that?
I actually write better at nighttime, like really late at night, which is weird because my brain is normally tired from everything else. But for some reason at night time when it's quiet and it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really have a special place. I love to write in my bed, but it's very uncomfortable and it's not practical. I keep trying to get my husband to put a desk in our room, but he won't go for it. So usually I'm just out in my officey area where I study. So, yeah. I also ride at a motocross track as well. That's great inspiration while I'm watching my husband do motocross. I did that the other day. So, yeah.
That's good that you're versatile. You can work anywhere.
Yes. That's usually where all my ideas come from. I'll be sitting in the car and chapters are just writing themselves, or in the shower is another one. You will stand there and it's just never when you got your computer.
That's what I do. Half of my story notes are in my voice recorder because I'm either driving or something like that's going on. Something that's where I just don't have time or the faculties to actually write it down.
Someone said I should get a voice recorder, but it's a weird thing for me, I think, to sit there talking to myself, telling a story. I don't know.
I use my phone a lot, but I do voice acting a lot, so I guess kind of get used to talking to myself. Let's see. What is your favorite type of character to write?
I love a strong woman character. Like, I know that all in these romance ones, you've got the women that usually the men rescue them. Mm-hmm. And in her Highland Hero, she does get rescued by her, but she's still strong. Like, she's still, I don't need a man to do this. I will do it myself. Whereas in her Highland Hero, she actually saves him.
I love that.
I love these women. Like, it's 21st century women that come out and go, we can, don't tell me what to do kind of thing, but they still want that strong man that will be strong.
Yeah, it's a relation, like any relationship, you have to kind of have the boundaries to say, I appreciate you doing something for me, but I can do it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
To have the respect for each other that you can both, do. But
yeah,
I think that's a great thing to put in your books.
I just love that fact of, and also I like strong characters that I'm very big on, especially with my girls, letting them know you can do anything in life. You can be anything. You can go anywhere. It's up to you kind of thing. And that's the kind of thing I want to portray in my female characters is, they do what they want to do. They don't let anyone sort of put them down or tell them they can't do something. So, yeah.
That is great. Especially, I think, a lot of characters, I guess more today we're getting more and more, strong female leads. But like you said, for a while there, it was a lot of damsels in distress. So it's great to see that.
Yeah.
Well, what advice would you give to other new authors who might be struggling to achieve their dreams? They might not think, my book's probably not good enough. What advice would you give to them?
Don't give up. There's someone out there that will like your story. If not, self-publish. I know a lot of the indie authors self-publish on Amazon and that, which I didn't know you could do. And I know there's also a lot of little publishing companies, like I'm with Dream Big Publishing, and there's a lot of little publishing companies out there that take your kind of books. Also take on the feedback you're getting from people. So send it to other authors surrounding you and get their feedback, and they will help you build it and make it better. But don't give up. It took me 2.5 years of getting knocked back before, and I said to my husband, maybe I was going to pay money to get it self-published. And he goes, do you believe in the story? And I said, yes. And he goes, well, keep going. And so I did. And eventually someone picked it up and loved it. And it's done great since then. So, it's just a matter of finding those people or self-publishing yourself, but don't lose doubt in yourself because you can do it. We're not all born to be writers, but we can learn to be writers.
Yeah.
That's what my thing is.
I think that's a good thing just in life in general. Just keep going, just keep trying, because the more you try, the more you're going to learn and the better you're going to get, like you said.
Exactly. Like I started off, like my first draft was, my editor's like, nope, we've got to work this out, but we did. And then every story is getting better because you learn more, you start to get into the writing, I guess, mojo, I call it, and you start to feel it and understand more every time you write. So And I always say that first book you write is never going to be perfect. You're always going to want to change something about it because every book you write after becomes better. I think you'd know that with yours. Like, it's just, I look back at my first one now and think, oh yeah, I could have done that with it, but I still love it. It was still there, so.
It's still your baby, but you know that you've got more, you had more potential now than you did then, but that's a good thing.
It is. And that's what I said, you just learn and grow. So my advice is just don't give up. Believe in yourself and surround yourself with people that believe in you. I think that's the big thing. So
I really feel that a lot too. And that's a great thing about, like the small publishers and the indie authors. I think that a lot, maybe the traditional publishers don't get the bigger ones, because this community we help each other a lot. And
we do.
And I think it's wonderful. That's a wonderful reason that I love the indie community and the small publishing community, is because everyone wants to help everyone else succeed and everyone wants to teach each other. And I think that's great.
It is. It really is. And there are people out there that are willing to help you and willing to, go the extra mile and give you advice. And and everybody's supportive of everybody. Like, nobody knocks anything down and says, oh, well, that was just crap.
Right.
So there's no point knocking someone down to build yourself up, I believe.
I believe that too.
Well, I think there's enough people in this world that are going to do it for you.
Definitely. Well, what do you hope your future looks like? What aspirations and dreams do you have, say, 10 years from now?
10 years from now, I want to continue writing. I'm going to write no matter where I am, what I'm doing. So I have a passion for it. So I'll always be writing and pumping out books. But I also I would love to be a lead historian or archaeologist on a dig in Greece. And also teaching. So, because I love teaching ancient history, maybe teaching writing, and publishing and doing all that thing. So my idea is to teach through the year, archaeology in the summer, and writing all the time. So.
See, you've got it set. That's what you're going to do. And I know you're going to do it because you're really talented. I think you are.
Thank you. So, but that's my plan.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. I'm going to leave links to all of YM Zachery's social media and websites, plus her buying information in the description. So please go check them out. Now, if you or someone you know would like to request a Feel Good Friday interview, please send an email to info@fiction-atlas.com with the subject line Feel Good Friday. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back next Friday with more inspiring author stories for you.